Hi everybody, it's Claire back with another art journal video, and in this one I'm sharing with you how I used one of Dina's face stamps from the squared stamp sets with my sewing machine and a free machine embroidery foot on there. And I've slowed this down a little bit, so I was doing it a little bit faster, not a lot to be fair, to just create this collage element, which I then used on this page that you can see here. So quite simple really. I did it on some of Dina's heavy watercolour cardstock type. It's a really thick watercolour paper, and it's really nice to work on. So I'm starting off by adding some white paint into the centre of the page, and using a dry brush I'm just spreading that around. You can see that it isn't spreading very easily. So I'm just going in, adding a bit more paint. So I'm focusing what I'm adding onto the page on the right hand side, because this little image that I've created on my sewing machine is going to be used on the left hand side of my page. So don't really need to put too much over there. So it means that I can concentrate the interest that I'm going to create on the background on this other side. So you can see that's how that's going to work. So I'm just adding a little bit just in case any bits show through. I was working out whether I wanted it overlapping or whether I wanted it to sit exactly on the edge of the page. So then, just to break up that background, I'm adding some collage tissue paper. This is some of Dina's, onto my background, using some matte medium to stick that down. This is from the text collage pack, I think, or one of the ones that's got like numbers and text on it. She's got so many sets of collage tissue paper, and to be honest, mine are all jumbled up in a big folder now, most of them with bits missing because I've used pieces of them. So it's really difficult to know what's from what set, but they are great for just breaking up backgrounds and adding in a little bit of interest. And you can see that some of my paint was still a little bit wet, and so it's pulling some of that paint over the top of it as well. And I quite like that effect. That's quite nice for just pushing it into the background a little bit more. So this stencil is called Angled Paint Blobs. It's one of my favourite name stencils. I love it. And I'm using Orchid through that with my blending tool, and just smooshing that paint around. For those of you that aren't so familiar with using blending tools with your paint, they are fabulous because you can get different opacities depending on how you use them. And usually when I've finished, I just pull the blending sponge off and I throw it in my paint water, and then I rinse it out. And it does mean that you can reuse them quite a lot as well. There I just added some stenciling using some fuchsia as well. So here, to be quick, I'm just stapling this collage image onto the edge of this page, and that is in place. I always flip the page over and push down the back of the staples really well, because sometimes they don't always settle properly and lie completely flat, and the last thing I want to do is catch myself on them. So a little tip there of something that I always do. So then I'm just drawing some lines that I can journal onto using my Posca pen, and then I'm going in with a thicker Posca pen and I'm going to write my words on there. So here I'd made a mistake and missed a complete word out. So while it was still wet, I went in with my baby wipe and rubbed it away, and then I was able to go back and fill it in. So you notice here that the collage paper was a little bit too much in the foreground, so I've just added a little bit of paint and it just pushes it away, which means that then the writing stands out better. So then I'm going to finish my writing on that right hand side. And then, as you know, sometimes I go in and just darken up one side of the letters, and it's something that I like to do just to make it stand out a bit better. Giving it a quick dry. So here I am just going over the letters and just making those just a bit bolder so they do stand out from the background. So this was a page that kind of came together quite quickly, really, and sometimes that is just all you need. It's what you've got time for, not a lot of time, but you want to do a little bit of something. It's one of the reasons these little journals are so fabulous, because you're not completely freaked out with a massive amount of space to work on. But you can create a really nice little page, and having these little collage elements that you can come to and use ready-made means that creating that journal page is a whole lot easier. So then, of course, just to finish off, I am going in with my signature dots, just to kind of bring that journaling to the bottom and top of the page. It just kind of helps ground it better on the page, because at the minute it's all kind of floating in the middle, and although it touches the sides at the right and left of the page, it isn't really touching the top and bottom of the page. And this is kind of what this is doing really here for me. It's just making it feel like it belongs there a little bit more, anchoring it down. So yes, just going in and adding some dots on there. So you'll notice that I've done different sizes of dots. That's often what I do. And that really is all that there was for this page. So a little bit of paint, a bit of stenciling, a image created on my sewing machine using one of Dina's stamped faces. And that was how it came together. So a nice, really quick and easy page. So yeah, I hope you found some inspiration from this video, and I hope you've enjoyed watching. And in a second you will see the finished page. Here it is. So that was how it ended up looking. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you again soon.